Hi all, welcome back to Subject Online. Today we are going to talk about the filter function. The filter function, what you're looking at is a syntax. That is the way how you type the formula. We are going to use Excel 365, but if you have Excel from 2019 going forward, it is okay. You'll be having the update of the new formulas. That is where a filter is part. Then if you don't have any of the 365 license subscription, you can go ahead and use the Google Sheets. It is updated there. So the filter function has three parts. The first part is the array. That is the range where the values the values you're going to filter contain. Then the second part of it is the include, where we put the logical test, and which brings you a true or false. That is a Boolean array, and I shall look at that. And you have to make sure that the logical test has the same height like the array. I'm going to show you that. Then the last part is if the result is not returned or does not exist, we shall have an option for what has to be displayed if all we are to get an error of not available. Okay. Okay, we start with the first. We want to pick the data where we want to filter out department logistics. Here we shall start with equals to filter. As I've already told you, the first part is the array, so we shall select our data. Leave the headers out because we already have the heading repeated here. Then the second thing is the include, the second part of our syntax formula, or syntax formula for filter. So the second part is the include. So here we're going to put the logic test. Now the logic test is we are going to test the column department, as we have already seen that you have to make the same height. So if this is from row 4 to row 12, you do the same thing from row 4 to row 12. Is equal to, and you put this in quotes, then I'll do logistics. It's not case sensitive, but you have to make sure that spelling is the same. So which means in that array we are going to filter out where a department is logistics, and this is what we get. So it is going to be an array. You see that blue lining, meaning that this is an array of everything that contains logistics as a department. Now imagine that what you have, the department you have typed does not exist. Let me edit this to logistic. So we shall end up with getting an error calc. So what we do here is that we shall have, if that one does not exist, that is the third part. We have if it is empty, then we shall have an option of no records. Okay, now this is it. So you'll see that if there is no record that is returned, then we shall have no record. But remember, this was logistics, not logistics, so I'll change that and we have logistics. So that's how you do it. Even if you want marketing, you'll replace logistics with marketing, and you'll have to get the same thing, that is marketing. So you'll have filtered out marketing, that is stamps, paper and pens, and this is 247. That is, there you go. You can do the formatting like how it is this side, so I can copy the formatting and have it here. So guys, that's how we filter out data using one of the records or one of the columns. Next one, that is filtering data using the AND criteria, and you all aware that with AND we use the symbol asterisk representing the AND. Now this means that we are going to test now for two fields, that is the department and the item. I want to test for a department and it should be with an item. So we do the same thing. So this is filter again. We open brackets, we pick our array. So that is our data. Then the first thing I'm testing department, so I'll say the whole of department, that remember to select the same height, is equal to this is logistics, close quotes. Then another thing I want, I will make sure that I put this in parentheses, open and close the parentheses, then multiply. So we want to filter out an entry with logistics, then and should be logistics and stamps, which means I'll open parentheses and select items. So this should be equal to stamps. As we already said, it is not case sensitive, so even if I begin with a small letter, it will give me the answer I want. So close that, close the other parentheses. So this is what we are testing. We want from the array, we want an item which is having a department as logistics, and the item should be stamps. So before I close that, if you don't get the record, as you already know that we should always have an option if the record is not returned. Shall have this as no record. So when I enter, so you see that this is the logistics and stamp. So that is the only entry where we have logistics and stamp. So the moment if I change this one to stamp like this, so you'll see there will become 2 items. So that is the test we are doing for 2, and that is the AND. So the next we are going to filter data using the OR criteria, and the OR we use the plus sign or the plus symbol. Now OR means that we are going to test for something in the department. Let's say I will say I want some any item that has logistics or it has stamps. So it is going to pick all the stamps and it will pick all the logistics. So that is the OR. So let's start. Still the criteria is that the syntax is the same. That is filter. We are beginning with our array. So our array, you select the data. That is the array. Comma. What is the logic test? We are starting with the first one. We want where the department is equal to logistics. Close this. Remember to open the parentheses and close them. Then this time we want the OR, that is a plus. Then we test another field, that is the item field, and this we want it to be equal to stamps, or we can go with pens or paper. So I will have paper, and we close that. Then we have, if we don't get the record, so we shall put no record. Close parenthesis and enter. Now what we get here, we have filtered our data in a criteria that we are looking for logistics. These are the 3 items entries. Then another thing, we are making sure that the second item, we want anything that has paper, even if it is not logistics. So shall get that paper. Then now we are going to filter out data with the multiple if empty. So we have already seen in the past that if we get an empty entry or we don't get the record back, we have been putting there no record. But the no record was only appearing on department. But this time, what if we have no record here? We should have no item here. We should have a 0. We should have a 0. We should have a 0. And how do we do that? We start with our filter. Then still our array is this. Then we go to the include part, open parenthesis. Then this time we are having the department, we are testing the department. So we want the department cells, open quotes, we want department cells. And if you don't find cells, what should you do? The other time we're having no record, or this time I'll say no department. Okay, so no department. So when I close parentheses, sorry, we have opened this one. Okay, this one has to close here. Then it close that. Then okay. Now you see we get no department, but we need also no item. 1 to 0 here, 1 to 0 here, 1 to 0 here. So to have that, we are going to have an array which is going to give us the return option. So the array, we do it by opening curly brackets. Then we start with the first one. The second one is no item. Make sure that you put them in quotes. Then the other one is a 0, the quantity. The item price is a 0, and the total amount is a 0. So you close this, enter. We have not closed the curly brackets. Okay, then close the parentheses. So this is it, guys. Now this time it means that even if we don't get any item from our records, we shall get no department, no item, 0, 0, 0. Let's assume now if we had the department, it means that the department, let's say, is logistics. You see, you get a logistics. By the moment the logistics is a long spelling, you'll get the other option of multiple if empty criteria. Okay, now we are going to extract the non-contagious columns. Here, by this we mean that you're picking out a few columns from the array than before, where we have been using the same, all the columns were being picked out. Now let's start. We are going to do this by we want to pick out the item, the price, and the quantity, leaving out the totals and the department. Okay, but we need to select somewhere the department, because I need to pick out these items when a certain department or criteria is passed. Now how do we do this? This one, we are going to first do something. I'm going to first pick out the unique values of the department. I want the unique values, so I will use the formula equals to unique. This one is also in 365 or in Google Sheets, you can have it. So when you do the unique and you select the array, it's going to pick for you the unique values. Those are the 3 departments we have. So if you want to have this one sorted, you can edit your array formula by adding sort by, or you can add sort. Also, sort is a new function which is included in 2021 Excel or Office 365, Excel 365. So the moment I do sort, so looking at my formula, it is sort unique the other array, that is the department, and this is what we get. Now I'm going to create a validation here to pick out this, such that when this criteria is passed, then we shall have our filters. Now adding a validation here, go to data, then you go to validation. This is it. You go to data validation. This time we have a list, and our source of the list is this. So I can select that. So the moment you select, you say this is communication, this is logistics, so we shall have to select this. Okay, the formula still is equal to filter. This time we are not going to use the array as it was in the beginning. Remember, now we are selecting out item, price, and quantity. Remember that order. Item is in C, quantity is in E. Sorry, quantity is in okay, price is in E and quantity is in D. So that's how it is interchanged. So now our array is not the full array we had before, but this time we are going to choose out. So we shall use the choose function. So the choose function, this one, the choose function chooses a value or action that performs from a list of values. So we are going to choose out a value. So that is the index. Now, what is the index? We are going to open an array that is curly brackets 1 to 3. So 1, 2, 3. Comma 2, 3. Then close the curly brackets. Comma. Now, what is the first value? What is the 1? 1 is the item, so I will select the item array. What is the 2? The 2 was the price. I will select the price array. What is the 3? The 3 was the quantity, so I will select the quantity array. And we shall close the parentheses. Then this time we go to now the logical test. The logical test we need where the department is equal to. This time we can do with logistics. No, this time. Remember now we are testing the department, and we already have a reference cell, so we are referring this one to this. So you can lock that by pressing F4, and you close the parentheses. So when I enter, it means that for logistics, that is the stamp, 3 stamp paper and that, and these are the prices we have and the quantity. So when I change this to communication, it does change. When I change to marketing, it does change. So if I change anything for marketing, like this, I changed this. So you see it automatically changes. So that is it, guys. If this is your first time to visit our channel, please go ahead and hit that red button. Leave us a thumbs up if this content has been helpful to you, and share with a friend. Leave a comment for any next video you want us to create. We shall do. Bye bye. Meet you in the next video.